Moua, good to see you today. I'm excited to chat with you and interview you, learn a little bit more. We're both AHA board members now. Welcome to the team. Tell us your name. What do you do?
Yeah, my name is Moua. I go by MK downstairs when I'm selling cars.
Is there a reason you go by MK?
Yeah, so MK is actually my initials. My full name is Moua,
Welcome.
but it's a little harder to say, so I just go by MK, and everybody has a smoother way to say it.
Makes it a little bit easier. So you're in sales. How long have you been in sales?
I've been in sales a total of 3 years, but I've been at Walser for officially a year now.
So, tell us about your past, where you grew up.
Yeah, I grew up in Blaine, Minnesota. My family decided to move us out to Maplewood when I was around 7 years old. So pretty much I grew up in St. Paul, Maplewood area. With that, I was able to engage with the Hmong community a lot more. And growing out there, I guess it was fun.
Yeah. How did you get into the car industry? How did you get into sales?
Well, I've been in customer service pretty much my whole life. I was selling before, just not cars. And once I realized that what I was selling wasn't really helping people, not helping them achieve their goals, what they needed to have done, I decided to transition to the car sales. With car sales, I remember seeing how happy my parents were when they're getting a new car, when they're finally able to afford a new car. I just wanted to relive that situation there and see it in my own way.
Yeah, for sure. So with being a year into sales, a year and a half or so, what has been the best part of your job?
Best part is seeing smiles, right?
Yeah.
I deal with a lot of customers that go through the worst and they need a new car.
Yeah.
They'll stop by and at the end of the process, they're smiling, happy, going home.
I guess with your background and experience in your Hmong culture, has that have any clash, or does it help a little bit?
Yeah, it does. Here, especially at Walser, at my location, Toyota location, we have a lot of Hmong customers that come by, and there's that language barrier. And when they see me, their face kind of brightens up, and makes me feel good about myself, being able to help the community and my own heritage out.
Growing up and having to speak a little bit more English, and then moving into sales too, does that affect, I guess, your communication with your Hmong guests too, or are you pretty fluent in both?
I'm fluent in both. Growing up, struggled to speak Hmong a little bit, but I decided to get into my roots and learn how to properly speak Hmong. I'm fluent in it now, and a lot of Hmong customers see me. I'm on the younger side of the Hmong community, so they question me to see if I understand and can speak Hmong. But at the end of the day, once I start helping them out, they understand.
Yeah. So you recently joined Asian Hmong Alliance. What do you plan to bring to the team? What do you hope to achieve as a board member?
Big reason I requested to join was seeing my customers walk in, and they're afraid to ask what my background is, what my cultural background is. And I always tell them, don't be afraid to ask. I want them to know who I am. But a big reason I joined is just to expand my culture and let others know who I am and what we're capable of doing. Hmong people, they are all about community, and I think that's what I grew up with as well, and I want to be able to expand on that.
AHA is a little bit one of the newer ERGs, and with the name being Asian Hmong Alliance, I guess a lot of people feel that it's Asian specifically. Do you have any ideas on how we could probably branch out and let them know?
Just like Walser, right? Although Walser is a great name, doesn't mean if you never worked with Walser before, you can't join. So yes, it has that Hmong inside of the name, but we're open to anybody. Although you're not Asian, you're not Hmong, doesn't mean you're not welcome.
And so this month, AHA is partnering up with B Vang to display a few, or I would say a lot, of the cultural Hmong clothing, which is pretty nice. And,
yeah.
I love that for not just Asian Hmong Alliance, but for the Hmong community too. And how do you feel, and are you also excited about seeing the display here?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Not a lot of people know about the Hmong clothing. I guess you could say they hear it a lot more than they see it.
Yeah.
Because of all the dangling coins and just how much more people put into it. To see here on the show floor, we don't have a lot of Hmong customers that do stop by, but when they do, they're surprised to see me and another Hmong salesperson here.
Yeah.
So for them to be able to see the display of Hmong clothing is just gonna have them open up and understand that Walser is open and they care.
I know I have my own thoughts about this. Good thoughts, by the way. But how does it make you feel that, I guess, Walser does care to like display and show this and teach everybody else and kind of just welcoming people from different cultures, backgrounds, and just teaching a little bit more about the Hmong community? Does it make you feel good that you work for a company that, you know, accepts all culture and traditions?
Yeah, the most surprising thing about Walser to me is that they're open. They're not just trying to sell a car. You know, they want to expand on who we are, who they have working for them, and to customers that, you know, we're open to expand culture and educate.
What is like one advice or a couple advices that you would give to somebody starting out, pretty new into sales or joining AHA, starting at the company?
Yeah, you know, sales can be a tough job to do. One thing I always like to do is just don't let it knock you down, right? Come to work with a smile. Be happy about what you're doing. You know, it hits you mentally pretty hard, but as long as you have a strong mental, that right mindset, always be happy, looking forward, you'll be able to do it.